when it's business or makeup or photography, event planning, I think that we need to be our biggest motivator. We need to read books.
Yeah.
We need to consume education. We need to do things that light us up instead of just, you know, melting into a pile on the couch, which is completely okay as well. We all need time to decompress, and that's okay.
Completely.
And I do that every day.
Yeah.
But I'm very mindful about what I consume. Welcome to The Expansion Code. I'm Heather, and I could not be more excited to finally launch this podcast. This is the space where we dive into all things business, growth, leadership, and team expansion. I am really passionate about building something bigger than myself, sharing knowledge, and creating opportunities for others to thrive. I started solo, and now I lead a team of over 50, so trust me, I know the highs and the challenges and the incredible moments that come with scaling a business. Throughout this podcast, I'll be sharing insights, strategies, and conversations with some truly incredible guests. We are going to cover everything from marketing and leadership to mindset shifts and business expansion. So my goal is to give you real, actionable takeaways that you can apply to your own journey. Let's dive in, learn together, and unlock what's next. Welcome to The Expansion Code. Welcome to The Expansion Code. I am Heather Dick. I'm your host of this podcast series. Today with me, I have my friend Joelle. She is going to be interviewing me for my first episode. So instead of doing something...
How did you trust me to do this with your
I'm
first
not
episode?
entirely sure. I think...
Either.
I mean, I trust you. Of course I trust you. But how did I pick you? I think you're just fun.
That's fair. I am a great time.
And, you know, I feel like, I mean, if I'm being completely honest, I've already recorded this whole season.
Yeah.
So it's sometimes business is not very fun.
Oh.
And I am very fun.
You are actually, I would actually define you as the funnest. Bum, bum, bum.
Wow.
No pressure.
And
to
now you're just going to be
maintain.
completely disappointed at the rest of the episode. Anyways, so this is the first episode, and I was going to do it by myself, but I feel like it's a lot more fun to have someone interview me. And your questions are way better than what I was talking about. So
Well, thank God. We're going to make it way more fun and less stuffy. How about that?
that's right. Yeah. So Joelle, take it away. This is my friend Joelle. She's going to interview me.
You ready?
I was born ready.
So start us off with the elevator pitch, the classic elevator pitch. Give us the 5-minute spiel of like start to finish, Heather. Where were
Okay.
you born to, like, here right now?
Okay.
Go.
Born in Edmonton, Alberta,
Yep.
1985, May 7th.
Yes.
Turning 40 this year. What?
What? Big fucking
year.
deal.
Big year. I have always been a creator of some sort. So I was always in music. I sang throughout my teen years, like at Klondike Days, Reds.
I didn't know that.
I know. Well, now you know. And so I've always been like a performer of sorts.
Okay.
Beauty, I wouldn't say has always been prevalent, but my mom is always very done up. She always looks great.
I hate her for it.
I know. She looks 40. She looks my age.
She so does.
She's
Bless you,
yeah,
Barbie.
but that's what I grew up with. So I grew up with a mom that was like, you know, sweatpants are the devil, and you got to look good and feel good, and I'm actually grateful for that. So I grew up in my parents' business. They own an auto body shop, so I grew up around business.
Yeah.
I worked there for a long time. I also worked at Estee Lauder. I got my makeup certification when I was in nursing school. So I was going to be a nurse, and I got my certification thinking that I could make cash on the side.
Sure.
And that's not how that works.
Weird.
You need people. You need people's faces.
Yeah.
And also, this was in 2007, so makeup wasn't a big thing then. It was very hard pressed to get people to hire makeup artists. Hair, they would. Yeah. Especially in the wedding industry. So
it's actually shocking you say that. That actually checks out for me when I think back of like, you wouldn't have hired a makeup artist.
No.
It was just a hairdresser.
So I was pounding pavement.
Yeah.
So in 2007, I took 6 of my friends. I did their makeup. I printed their photos in a little, flip book of photos. And I went to hair salons and I was like, will you hire me as your makeup artist? And lots of them were like, I'll hire you as my receptionist. And I was like, no. I'm not doing that. And I stood my ground, and I never worked as a receptionist. I got hired on as a contractor for one hair salon. Yeah. And that was awesome. And then I started with Estee Lauder, and I quit school. I found my passion. Yeah. You know the word dharma?
No.
It's like your
Dharma?
Dharma, yeah.
Okay.
DHARMA. M-A. Well, spelling bee for you as well. I'm not sure why I did that.
We're testing you on all areas.
It'll be in the show notes.
Reference Dharma.
But it was, I don't know if makeup was my passion, but people were my passion.
Sure.
And I loved working at Estee Lauder. I loved being around those women. I had so much fun.
Yeah.
2014, I started to advertise that I was doing makeup on social media.
Okay.
And people out of the woodwork were like, oh my God, where have you been? I've been looking for you. You did my hair at such and such salon.
Yeah, okay.
And so I had a bunch of people. I was fully booked. And then I was like, and I remember my dad, he said, the day you do giveaway business is the day you do bad business. And so I hired my first makeup artist in 2014. She's still with me to this day.
No.
My OG. Yes.
Who is it?
Shannon Ledger.
Get out.
Shouts to Shannon.
Shouts to Shannon.
We had our first business meeting in Cora's breakfast on my iPad she was teaching me to use. With our scheduling program she was teaching me to use. And it was just like, God. I don't know, I think maybe we'll just do like a commission. She's like, all right.
Sure.
And so we did a commission based, and then Shannon was fully booked, and we did some training, and all of a sudden I had 5 makeup artists, and then people were starting to ask for hair, and I was like, I really should get a hairstylist.
Yeah.
But then I was uneven. I had 5
Start to do
makeup.
the double-sided portion of things. Yeah.
And then I had 5 makeup and 1 hairstylist, and I was super uneven. So then I balanced it out. Somehow I found 4 hairstylists. And then all of a sudden I had a team of 12. And I remember, I will never forget this. I texted my accountant, who is still my accountant to this day.
Yeah.
I was like, Jordan, I have $12,000 in my bank account right now. And he's like, okay. And I was like, I for sure owe taxes on something. And he's like, you're good.
It's fine.
Chill out.
It's fine.
But I didn't know what I was doing.
Panic.
It was never my intention to have a team.
Yeah.
It was never my intention to have a business. It just happened so organically, which comes with a lot of growing pains.
Yeah.
But it was a blessing. And that's how I am to where I am today, because the company has just grown and we've had such great team members.
Yeah.
We put out amazing work.
Yeah.
And here we are today, a 12,000 square foot studio.
That's insane.
Team of 50. I know.
12,000
I missed a little bit in between there, but we'll cover that in the season.
So when you look back at, from like your nursing and the transition you made, you talked about your mom, but like, what was that? Was there a specific moment where you actively chose the beauty industry? Do you know what I mean?
I guess it would be when I got my certification when I was in nursing school, but it's not because I was passionate about makeup.
Yeah.
I was just good at it.
Right.
And there's a difference.
Yes.
There's a difference between
Very
being
much
passionate
so.
about something and good at something. Actually, when I was in singing lessons, I'll never forget, there was a guy that was before me and he was horrific. He was so bad. And I would hear my instructor, I don't remember his name. Let's say his name's Ben. Ben, you got to stop showing up. You're just not good. He's like, but I love it.
Oh.
And there's a difference, you know?
Yes.
And so I was good at makeup, but I'm passionate about people.
Yep.
And so the beauty industry, I would say, maybe chose me because I would probably be working with people no matter what.
In some other capacity.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's just fun.
fair.
I mean, beauty's fun.
It is.
Yeah.
It's always changing too.
Always changing, which is slightly challenging to keep up with, but
That's fair. I
keeps
get
things
that.
interesting.
Tell us about the motivation behind starting the podcast. Being in the beauty industry now, like you're segueing into a completely different aspect of the business, podcasting and talking about it. So talk to us about that. Why do you want people to listen to you? What do you have to say?
As I mentioned, I'm a showman.
Yeah.
So I love being behind a microphone.
Yeah.
Business, growing up in a business, having my business grow to the heights that it has been, I'm so passionate about business. And I love watching people grow.
Yeah.
I love hearing what has made someone else grow.
Yeah.
And I want to share that with the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, there's tons of podcasts out there. So it's not like this is, I'm not reinventing the wheel.
Yes.
But beauty specific entrepreneurs or in the creative industry, we're so good at doing what we do, but we're not always good at the business aspect.
Yeah.
And so, you get photographers that, oh, you know what? I should open a studio.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this. And they have no idea how much money they need to make. They have no idea what they should be doing for their commercial build outs,
Yeah.
hiring a second shooter. That there's just so many things that I hope to bring value to people's business life through this podcast in just little snippets. And I think in each episode, I want to give takeaways. So whether it's something tangible that you can do and actionable that you can put into your life, or even just like a piece of advice.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing to just listen to stories all day long, which is fun.
100%.
But we have access to like storytelling. Yeah. And, I want this to be valuable.
Yeah. And I think it's always fun, like us as female entrepreneurs, there's, I would say, a lot more of the female entrepreneurs that are podcasting now, but I still want more. And to be able to, I'm actually just going to toot your horn for 1 second. I love the sound of your voice, but it's very different to listen to somebody who has the energy behind the voice. But hi, I just thought it'd be fun to start a makeup podcast or a podcast in general. So here are my 5 tips for it. It's like, fucking next.
Yeah.
I think people are going to love listening to you because of the energy that you have behind it, the wisdom that you have, and you just like to talk.
I love it.
You don't
I'm
shut
a good
up
talker.
in the best way.
I'm a good talker. But again, I'm passionate and you can feel that. And even in my solo episodes, you can see I'm almost like vibrating out of my seat because I'm just so, especially the topics that we talk about. There's a reason why I chose them.
Yeah.
Not only is it prevalent in my own business life, but it's something I think that people really need help with because I needed help with it.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to share all of that with everyone.
Well, we're excited to listen.
Thanks, bud.
Let the record state. Now, okay, so when you think back to your business or with Blush Artistry, what would you say was your, the actual biggest challenge that you faced? The biggest, the baddest. Who is it? What is it? Well, not who.
No, it's not a person.
It's not a person.
I would say the biggest challenge would probably be my most recent expansion. It was extremely challenging.
Yeah.
It was there was a lot of curveballs that were thrown at me. I went in with this it's going to be turnkey.
Yeah.
I'm going to get a key. I'm going to operate. I'm going to make money. I'm going to collect rent.
Every story.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
And I've done expansions. Yeah. I've taken on leases before, and I know how hard they are.
Yeah.
It just was presented a little bit differently, and so I strapped myself this time, and I didn't use any credit. I've never used credit, and yeah, thanks, bud. Yeah,
good for you.
I paid cash for all renovations.
Floating your ass through it. Good for you.
I eat a lot of rice.
Them itchy band noodles are
99 cents. But it is true. I can make sacrifices for myself. So, when we opened Blush, our renovation was $175,000, and that was cash.
Yeah.
And same with this last one, $150,000, and it was cash.
Fuck, that's so cool.
But and it wasn't even the money aspect of the last expansion. It was more the invasiveness to my current business. So because we expanded into the other space, we thought it was going to be a lot more just, we're going to open a wall and it's going to be great. And it just didn't end up being like that. So, I would say that was the most challenging aspect of the business so far.
The expansion.
Taking on the lease was scary.
Yeah.
But it wasn't challenging. I had a mantra in my head.
Say more about that.
It was.
What did you just say?
It was scary, but it wasn't challenging.
Wasn't challenging?
Because we were operating out of the house.
Yeah.
In 2020.
You're talking about opening Blush versus the expansion right now.
Yeah, taking on the commercial space. Signing the first lease.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because we were operating out of our home studio for 10 years.
Yeah.
And then signing a lease on a space, our lease is $6,100 on the Blush side.
Yeah.
And that was scary.
Yeah.
But again, I had a ton of money banked.
Yeah.
I knew that if I couldn't make rent for at least 3 years, I could pay it.
Yeah.
So if I didn't make a dime and that place sat empty, I set myself up.
Right.
And I also had the mantra, if I go bankrupt, that's the worst that happens. I'm still alive.
That's always such a cool perspective when I hear business owners talk about. It's like, what's the worst that could happen?
Yeah, bankruptcy.
Literally.
It sucks. Some bankruptcies only last 2 years.
Yeah.
So, I just had to coach myself through that, know that it's scary, and if I fail, I fail, and it is what it is. But it's scary. It wasn't challenging.
Yeah.
And this last time, it challenged my every core. I was like, what am I doing? Why did I do this?
Retract.
And now I
Retract.
can't
Retract.
because I've signed
We're
a
all in
lease.
on it.
Yeah. Now
Yeah.
my lease is $18,000.
Yeah.
And which is fine. I was prepared for that. It's not the
Right.
money. It was the invasiveness and the actual build out stage. It was just way more than I'd signed up for. But if I would have known it was that much, I would have never done it. And I wouldn't have 12,000 square feet.
Yeah, that's fair. You wouldn't have taken the plunge initially.
Yep.
Yeah, that's totally fair. I need to look at my notes. I want to know, after this expansion, after opening Blush, like your first space and now your second space and everything either before, during, after, would you look at all of what you've done and consider yourself successful? And if you do, why?
I mean, on paper, yes. Right.
Sure.
Like, someone on the outside would say you're very successful.
Yeah.
People don't realize like how little money you make as an entrepreneur sometimes. Like if they looked at my bank account, you would say, no, she's not successful. My personal bank account.
Yeah.
I've set it up that way.
Yeah.
But success isn't money to me. It's not money. It's freedom.
Okay.
Here we are. We're sitting. It's Friday.
Yeah.
It's 12 o'clock in the middle of the day. We're probably busy after this, but we could go for lunch.
Yeah.
I can golf on a Tuesday at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
That is more successful to me than the amount of money in my bank account.
Yep.
And my time freedom to me is way more successful. So because I have that time freedom, and that's the most important thing to me, I would say, yes, I am successful.
Yeah.
But I could do that with a 400 square foot treatment room as well.
Granted.
I don't need
That
12,000
wasn't your
square feet.
speed. Yeah. You went for it.
I
Fucking full send.
by accident.
Was it?
Oopsie. Well, I mean, it wasn't intentional.
Ah, that's fair.
I just took opportunities and just said yes to them.
Yeah.
My goal was never this.
Yeah.
I didn't really have very many goals, to be honest. I was just kind of flying by the seat of my pants.
I mean, what else is entrepreneurship?
Yeah, honestly, just figuring it out.
Fly by the seat of your pants is what you will find in the definition of entrepreneurship.
Yeah,
literally.
Totally.
So then going into, or whether it was from your parents, your upbringing, the business, or the experiences that you've had through creating all of this, was there one, this is what I'm always interested in. Is there a golden nugget? Is there something that somebody said, somewhere did? What is it that has literally stuck with you forever?
Okay, so I was prepared to answer this question, and I do have one thing. I think there's a few things.
Okay.
The number one thing is, for me, I cannot control how someone reacts to me.
Yeah.
So that is, I remember that no matter what. I also remember that it all works out. It's okay.
Oh my God, isn't that the truth?
It's okay. And, I still get stuck in those spirals of like the death spiral. I'm not sleeping and I'm anxious. But
the sky is falling.
The sky is falling on my head. But everything is okay. Everything works out. Everything always works out, even if it feels like it's not working out.
It's almost frustrating how well that works
I
sometimes.
know.
Like, you just have to trust the fact that it'll all land where it needs.
And you know what, Joelle? That comes with experience.
Yeah.
That comes with making mistakes. It comes with doing a bunch of things that work out.
It's so true.
Even if it's not how I wanted it to work out, it's still, look, this expansion, I never thought that it was going to be this big of a deal.
But there's also an element, I think, of that force and flow too.
Totally.
Or flow and force and flow, where if you're forcing it, you're making it happen versus allowing it to happen. And then it all, by the grace of God, everything just lands where it needs to and happens how it's supposed to.
Yeah.
If you just relinquish.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard, especially as a business owner. It's hard to relinquish control.
Yes.
But the more experience you get, the more you do, the more you say yes to, say yes more. That's also a really big thing in business. You have to say yes more. You have to go to those events. You have to get in front of the people that need your business.
Yeah. I love this.
Oh,
this is super fun.
Well, listen to the podcast.
Yeah. Just going to do a little plug, shameless plug for you.
Okay, we need to take a little break because, shocker, this podcast is brought to you by my flagship company, Blush, and I need to give a shout out. So not only does Blush sponsor my lavish lifestyle, it also sponsors this podcast, Shouts. If you know me, you know that I do not play around when it comes to beauty and self-care, and that's why Blush is your one-stop shop for looking and feeling your best. We genuinely do it all. Hair, makeup, nails, massage, tattoo, medi spa, Basically, if it makes you feel like a goddess, we probably offer it. So whether you're looking for a fresh balayage or a relaxing massage or a little of that I woke up like this glow, we've got the experts to make it happen. Think of it as self-care, but with a little extra love, sunshine, and family. And actually, with our most recent expansion, we now have a private gym, physiotherapy, chiropractic services, and a lot more to help your body. So if you are ready to treat yourself, book an appointment at Blush Artistry because let's be honest, life's too short for bad hair and uneven eyeliner. You can find us at blush-artistry.ca or over on Instagram at Blush Artistry MUA. Back to the episode.
Now, one of my favorite things when I'm listening to a podcast is finding out, when you look at the beauty industry, all you see is imagery, right? You see all the different looks and all the things and all the fashion and everything that comes with the beauty industry itself. But how do you stay inspired when it's everywhere? You know what I mean by that? Like, how do you get unstuck of it? You want another what's that one? Or it's like the nude look or the natural look. Well, every person wants the natural look, but when they come to you, like, how do you not get tired of that? How do you stay inspired?
You have to put a lot of work into staying current, but staying true to yourself. Yeah. And I think that just trends come and go always, like 2016.
Do they ever?
Super dark lipstick and winged eyeliner was the thing, I'll never forget it because I made my team do a runway show of super dark lipstick and winged eyeliner and they still curse me for it. And even like 5 minutes a model.
They're still cursing your
They
name.
get like triggered when someone says dark lipstick. They're like, please God, no. But I think that even with it, when it's business or makeup or photography, event planning, I think that we need to be our biggest motivator. We need to read books. Yeah. We need to consume education. We need to do things that light us up instead of just, melting into a pile on the couch, which is completely okay as well. We all need time to decompress and that's okay. Completely. And I do that every day. Yeah. But I'm very mindful about what I consume. Yeah. So I'll consume books that inspire me from a business standpoint. I'll consume books that inspire me from a makeup or a beauty standpoint.
Name your favorite book right now. What's your favorite book that you've read or reading?
The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. Have you read that?
No.
Oh, Lord. It'll change your life.
Oh, Lord.
That one also, and The Science of Getting Rich. Because it's not, have you heard of that one?
No.
It was written in 1912.
Actually?
By Wallace D. Wattles.
What a name. Can you imagine being the parent name? Wallace D. Wattles.
In 1912, he was the ish. So, and also in 2025.
So okay.
But those books kickstarted my self-awareness journey. Yeah. My journey to being, just able to manage stress better and realizing how detrimental my self-talk actually is. Oh, yeah. And Cameron taught this, my boyfriend. He said, every time you say you're overwhelmed, you just continue to be overwhelmed, Heather.
Yes.
So, it's okay to feel overwhelmed. Yeah. But don't become it. Yeah. Don't become this feeling that you're having right now. Don't become stress. Yeah. And just, acknowledge
changing your own inner dialogue with yourself.
Totally. And I mean, the power of the subconscious mind is it's incredible. So even things like, I can't drink coffee after 3:00 because I won't be able to go to sleep. Yeah. Well, you won't be able to go to sleep because you just told yourself
that you can't go to sleep. Yeah.
And so that's a mind game that we play with ourselves. And so I've really, really tried to harness that in my personal and professional life. Yeah.
Good for you.
Thank you.
That's a hard thing to do.
Very hard.
And it's very hard to be self-aware.
It is.
In order to do something like that, right?
But it's imperative for success. Yeah. So for instance,
getting perspective.
Totally. We're going to create for 3 hours here. I'm not going to go and plan to do a bunch of content for my business. Yeah. I'm not going to go do something that requires a ton of mind exercises. That's self-awareness. I know that I don't have that in me. Yeah. But lots of times we push through that. Yeah. And we just have the best intentions and then we disappoint ourselves. Yeah. Yeah. And so at 5:00, it was like, I didn't do any of the stuff I said I was going to. But it's like, man, you did enough. Yeah. Yeah.
This is I think there's something so and I hope you talk about it when you get into the podcast. I want you to dive deeper into that self-awareness portion, because that's not a muscle that is taught.
No.
Right? But we can talk about it so as to be able to flex and build it. So definitely talk about that. Can you talk about that? That would be great.
I'm not going to lie. You need a coach.
Yeah.
You need someone outside of you to tell you what's going on, because we don't see the forest through the trees. We've got these blinders on, and
we don't see what?
The forest through the trees.
Force through the
Forest.
trees? Oh, forest. I was like, force through the trees? What Harry Potter shit are you coming up with right now? Whoa! Carry on.
No.
Forest of the trees.
Forest through, you can't see the forest through the trees, right? So like when you're in the trees, you can't see the forest. You can't see the bigger picture.
Got it.
And so when you have a coach or a consultant or a mentor, someone sitting outside of you, that is also unbiased. You know, it's not your mom, it's not your sister, it's not your partner. It's someone that's like, hey, you're kind of your own worst enemy right now. Yeah. You're
and to be able to call you out on it.
Totally.
Right?
You're tanking your success, or even teaching. I remember one of my life coaches I had taught me about the scarcity mindset that I hadn't even heard of that before. And she was telling me about a team member that I was having an issue with. And she's like, she's just got a scarcity mindset. And I was like, say what? What's that?
Gesundheit.
And that was 6 years ago. Yeah. You know, so now the more you educate yourself and the more people you put yourself in front of, you're able to gain that self-awareness and those experiences. And
it all comes with time, I suppose, too.
Sure does.
Shape, form, or fashion.
I'm 40.
And hot as heck. Thanks, Eileen, for the good jeans.
A little throwback.
Now, I want to know specifically, what is your favorite thing about your job? Like the one, it can only be one thing.
Talking to people.
Weird.
Is it?
Shocker. Not.
I love it. I love socializing all day long. I'm a social butterfly. Yeah. So if I could just go to the studio and just talk all day long, I'd love it. Yeah.
You don't?
Pardon?
You don't do that already?
I do that. I do that every day. I go and talk all day long.
Heather, I'm going to need you to go now. I need to do my job. Oh, but I just wanted to tell you about this new thing. It just goes off. That's fair.
Good energy, though.
But you are such a people person.
Yeah.
And you have the personality where people... I think that's something for the people who are listening to this right now. I think what you're going to really enjoy about Heather is she really makes you feel comfortable. Oh. You just have that ability for people to feel safe around you.
Thank you.
And then the words land. So I think, I'm just going to toot your horn again.
Thank you so much, Joelle.
You're welcome.
You wondered why I asked you to do this.
I'm just blowing smoke up your ass.
She's getting paid. Just kidding.
Just cat pets. Okay, we're going to finish out here. We're at 26 minutes. We're doing good.
Do you want a podcast?
Stay tuned. Here we go. Rapid fire.
Let's go.
I have my little list of questions for you. If you were to eat one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Fish tacos.
Oh, do you like cilantro?
Specifically from La Patrona in Sherwood Park. Yes, I love cilantro.
I hate cilantro.
Oh, you're one of those soapy-mouthed BS.
You know what? It's been a slow build, but this isn't about me. Tell me who your celebrity BFF would be and why.
Well, I would have said Beyonce. But she won the Country Music Album Awards, and I like country music.
This is such a hot topic in the world right now.
So, yeah, Beyonce I love. Ooh. Oh, he's kind of a jerk. John Mayer.
Okay.
Oh, God, I love John Mayer, though.
But why?
Oh, I just love his music. And also, I was at a concert. I've seen him every single time he's come to the city, and I was front row, and he looked me directly in the eyes, and he winked at me. And the girl next to me was like, oh, my God, John Mayer just winked at you. And I was like, dude, we used to date. And she's like, shut up. And I was like, no, I wish. And then it was a whole thing. So I feel like...
Was Cam with you?
He was next to me.
This is just my friend. Hey, what's up? How you doing?
So I would say John, I just love he's so musically talented.
Fair.
Yeah, he's a great guitar player.
Because that's not part of who you are.
No
shape, form, or fashion. Give us your first job. What was your very first job?
Oh, at a tanning salon.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it Fabby Tan?
Under the table. Venice. Maybe it's probably way long. Venice Beach. It was called on 118th Ave in Edmonton, Alberta.
Too funny. Just cleaning beds.
Yeah, and burning butts because back then.
And burning butts.
I just bonked my head. They didn't have, this one was such an old tanning salon. They didn't have automatic beds that would turn off. So I had to turn the beds on and off. And I would have to set a timer. Yeah, I would have to set a timer. And if I didn't hear the timer, people were left in there for like 40 minutes sometimes.
Stop it.
I'm not kidding.
You actually are burning butts.
No, I'm not kidding.
Oh my God.
And they would ding a doorbell. You know, they would ding a doorbell.
Let me
out.
out.
God, this is so funny.
I'm a piece of
No, saying they were ready to go.
Okay.
Like, okay, I'm ready.
Yeah.
And so then, and also it was around a corner. So sometimes I had no idea. So I would just start turning beds on and you'd hear like Susan and number 4. She's like, not me. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Susan, not ready yet. Please hold.
Oh, that's from the memory bank.
I can't
Yeah,
believe
wow. I love that.
it. Wasn't it? I thought it was always just like they set the timer and Bob's your uncle.
I don't even know how they had that hooked up, to be honest.
This is hilarious.
I know.
Your go-to, like the song that you rip the knob off in the car. Rip the knob off.
Are we going to go for a genre?
No, song. Specific.
Like, this is so hard. Because there's
you
so
take
many
as much
kinds.
time as you need because I know you love music. So this is like a juicy one.
I mean, I have a plethora to choose from. Was that your tummy? You hungry?
She's starving me. Forced into 18 episodes and I don't get to eat. As you were.
I mean, Alanis Morissette, you ought to know, is always a good one.
Oh, money.
You know, because you can
Love.
just belt it.
Yes.
And Alanis Morissette just has such a, like a grungy.
Yeah. Did you see her
voice.
while she was here?
I didn't.
Oh, sad. I did, just in case you're wondering.
I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
But then there's also like dance music, you know, like there's a couple Kanye songs. Obviously, he's canceled. We don't like him, but some of his
Granted.
music's good.
Yep.
I would say, you know, something that I can really sing to. Another one, underrated, Katie Tunstall, Big Black Horse and a Cherry Tree.
Oh,
I can do that. Cameron and I do it on the guitar, and I
Okay.
sing downstairs in our music room, and it is just, and I get
I
the
love
the
this.
shaker
The
out.
whole-
Oh yeah,
I can
it's
just see you just in a...
Big Black
How-
Horse and a Cherry Tree. Ooh ooh.
This is so good. Okay, so you said Alanis Morissette.
And Katie Tunstall.
Yeah, we're not going for 3. Can you give me a third?
Oh,
maybe?
did you ask for 3?
No, I'm just
Oh, okay.
making it up as I go.
Oh.
Give me, actually, no, let me rephrase. Give me your favorite rap song.
Oh man, I mean, Jay-Z's always got bangers. Dirt Off the Shoulders is good.
Ooh, yep.
If you feeling like a pimp, go and brush your shoulders off. Yeah, man, I'm also grew up on the north side. It's got to be something from Jay-Z.
We're just gonna stop that right there. The last question.
Yes.
Your biggest, baddest, guiltiest pleasure purchase.
That I've made or that I
Yeah.
want to make?
Go both.
Probably last time I was on a retreat in Italy, a business retreat, I blacked out at Valentino. And between
Not actually.
Okay. I do have low blood pressure, but
Save that for another episode.
yeah. No, and I called my mom and I was like, what do you think of this purse? Do you want this one too? So my mom got a wallet, a purse. It was
Damn it, Eileen, this is not your shopping
I
trip.
know.
God almighty.
9,000 euros.
No.
I know.
Yes, I love this though.
It was a lot.
There's so many times where we look back and we're like, oh, I should have got that.
Exactly. And you know what?
Should have bought the damn
Paid
thing.
off now.
Yeah.
And I love this purse and my wallet and my sunglasses. Dirt off the shoulders.
Okay, so it was a purse.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I would say a guilty pleasure purchase that I would like to
Valentino purse.
Valentino. Yeah.
Yes.
That I would like to make that I don't have the dough to do it yet.
Yeah.
Is
What was that?
a yacht in the Mediterranean.
No!
I would love. It's like 150 grand. Yeah.
To buy a yacht?
To rent a yacht for
Oh,
like 5
I was like,
days.
what are we doing? You can buy a yacht for 150 G's? Once again, I'm out going shopping.
No, yeah, it's
That
a
would
rent.
be so sick.
Yeah, so
actually.
that'll be my guilty pleasure. We were gonna do it for 40, but it came up too fast. So
That's fair.
yeah,
Do it for 50.
I'll do. Oh,
Or 41.
well, no, I can't wait that long.
Stay tuned. You may just get a VIP invite.
I'll be podcasting from the yacht with my microphone.
She'll be her and her Valentino scarf and purse with her naked butler.
Eating rice.
Itchy bat noodles.
Priorities. Is that all?
This is it.
Wow, that was amazing.
Thanks for coming out, everyone. We're just gonna wrap up today here with Heather.
That was really great, Joelle. Thank you for interviewing
You're
me.
so welcome.
This podcast has been something I've wanted to do for years and years and years.
Yeah.
I've had this equipment for a year.
And it's just been sitting. And
I was procrastinating. Yeah, and now I have a good team behind me that can help me produce and make it the quality that I want to. It's very vulnerable putting out a podcast.
Quick question. Can I ask one quick question
Please.
before we wrap up?
The floor is yours.
Why'd you procrastinate on it for so long?
Because the technical side.
It's
hard for me. I'm not a big techie person, and so like publishing it to Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, editing.
Yeah.
I don't put out crappy work.
Yeah.
And I knew that if I didn't have a producer and an editor behind me, it would be something I wouldn't be super proud of.
Yeah.
And I have recorded on my own probably 10 episodes, and I've deleted them all.
Yeah.
And it was
because you just it wasn't up to snuff for you to be able to put out there in the world.
Yeah, and it wasn't something I would want to listen to.
Ooh,
you know,
well,
so
I don't.
Exactly. So, and it's my brand. I'm not a half-asser.
We're not fucking around here, folks. We're going for it.
We are.
Here we are
in life. Okay, well, thank you. Thank you, Joelle. This was the Get to Know Me episode. I hope you got to know me a little bit more. I know Joelle did. She had some little secrets.
Yeah, I didn't know that you went to nursing school.
Oh, yeah. It's on my website, Joelle.
Is it actually? I mean,
that's
right.
Okay. Why would you read my website? It's all good.
Because I use you all the time. But anywho.
So throughout this season, I'll be dropping a bunch of free resources for you as a business owner. So team leadership, commercial build-outs, scaling your business, so marketing, branding, that kind of thing. So you can find that all on the website, theexpansioncode.ca. My Instagram is I am Heather Dick, and then also the expansion code.
Awesome.
Thanks for joining us today.
We can't wait to hear it.
Thank you, Joelle.
You're welcome.
All right, another episode bites the dust. If you loved this conversation as much as I did, don't forget to hit follow, leave a review, or even send it to a friend you think would enjoy it. And because I like to keep things fun, we're always running giveaways with our amazing guests. So make sure to check out the show notes, our Instagram page, get in on the details on how to get the free stuff, because it's free and fun. And who doesn't like that? Another little disclaimer. While I love sharing advice and business wisdom, I am not your lawyer, I'm not your accountant, and I'm not your fairy godmother. If you do want to be best friends, though, you can hit me up. Everything on this podcast is for educational and entertainment purposes only, so no lawsuits, okay? Thank you for hanging out with me today. If you'd like to hang out more, you can find me on Instagram at I am Heather Dick and at the Expansion Code. And all of our free resources and consulting packages are on the website, www.theexpansioncode.ca. I appreciate you being here more than you know. I will see you next time.